Okay, I think we are live. I think this is working. All right, here we go. It is week 18. Welcome, everybody. Uh, I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in because the clock is ticking down rapidly towards our week 18 kickoff against the Bears. Let's start. I would like to send off this very weird season the Vikings have had with kind of a weird beer. This week from the Humble Forager Brewing Company in Waunakee, Wisconsin, I am going to drink the Enchanted Island Imperial Tiki Sour Ale. Pineapple, passion fruit, cara cara orange, cherry, almond, and molasses. Um, Inspired by a Hawaiian Mai Tai cocktail, this sour ale is bursting with tropical fruit tones and held together with a touch of almond and sweetened with blackstrap molasses. This spritzy sour ale is a cocktail in a can. Take an adventure with us at humbleforagebrewery.com. Okay. I'm curious. This is, even for me, this seems like kind of an odd one. Skull feeleth there. Yeah, that's about as weird as I expected. Not bad. Just like it's sour, and then you get like the almond kind of comes through. And do they say coconut? Because I feel like there's some coconut in this. It definitely I get a fair amount of coconut kind of. You know how like coconut water is kind of like sweet, but not like sugar sweet. That's kind of what I'm getting here. It's complex. I like it. It does seem much more like a cocktail than a beer. So it feels like it should be poured over some ice. But good. Probably more of a summer beverage, if I'm being completely honest. It's currently incredibly bright and white and snowy out there. Um, it's still pretty tasty. Okay. Thank you, Humble Forager Brewing, for mixing up this interesting concoction. Definitely a good pontoon beverage. That's what I would say. Okay, to the point. Yeah, the Vikings lost in Green Bay last week, and I'm not sure how thoroughly I dove into that in the pregame last week. I don't know if any Viking fans really expected to win. This has not been a season of the Vikings overachieving expectations. It has definitely been one like they've won games that people wrote them out of, right? But anytime Vegas predicted the Vikings were going to lose or projected them as underdogs, they have been tremendously wiped off the face of the earth. Oh, I totally forgot. Maybe I'll post it in the comments of this. There was a reason. There was a very specific reason I wanted the Vikings to win at Lambeau last week. It didn't work out, but I'll post it anyway. There were a surprising amount of Packer fans victory lapping over the Vikings. Losing in Green Bay in, I guess it was technically January. The Packers have a tremendous record at home in December and January. Great home field advantage. I don't know. It seems like for all of the, whenever the Vikings beat the Packers, all the Packer fans show up in the comments saying like, congratulations on winning your Super Bowl. For all of that, it like gloating that they do seem to be awfully insecure and be awfully celebratory over beating a Vikings team that they've said sucked all year. So congratulations on beating a team that sucks, I guess. Anyway, down a rabbit hole here. What I'm frustrated about is that I'm not surprised the Vikings lost. I expected them to lose because they had a chance at the 1 seed, and I kind of knew there was no way they were going to get that. Now they're fighting for the 2 seed because the 49ers and the Cowboys could beat them. What the Vikings fans want, I feel, is to be surprised. We want the Vikings to go out and wax somebody Beat somebody resoundingly. Make it look like you know what you're doing. Go out and beat somebody you're not supposed to, which we'll get to that in a second. That's what I want. I think that's what Vikings fans want. We want just an out, like, show us that you know what you're doing. Like, yeah, you're 12-4. Great. Beat somebody resoundingly. On that note, this week, the Vikings play the Bears at Soldier Field, which traditionally they don't do phenomenally at, but the Bears are trotting out basically a preseason roster. Their like defensive secondary, the most like veteran player in their secondary is Harrison Hand, who was a Vikings player who got cut by the Vikings. They're starting Nathan Peterman at quarterback, who I don't expect any of the people who watch this, because there's not a whole lot of football fans that watch this. It's mostly my mother and my grandmothers. He has like the record for the most interceptions to touchdown ratio, like, and a tremendously low average depth of target, which means he's like throwing checkdowns, and the checkdowns that he's throwing are getting intercepted. I don't want to like, I mean, he's a starter in the NFL, so he must be doing some things right. But in his starts as an NFL quarterback, he has been awful. Even with the Vikings starting a lot of their own benching, resting a lot of their own starters this week, the Vikings should be able to look competent in this game. And now for the thing that I am actually rooting for above all else, because really, I think for the Vikings to get the 2 seed back from the 49ers, the Cardinals need to beat the 49ers, and the Cardinals are also starting like a JV roster. The Vikings' chances of getting back into the 2 seed are not great. But Justin Jefferson needs 194 yards to take the season-long receiving record for Megatron, which is a big deal. 194 yards is a lot. Now, if anybody could do it, it's Justin Jefferson against this atrocious Bears secondary. But a quiet subplot to the season has been that Justin Jefferson has been taking some big shots on his receptions. And as cool as it would be for Justin Jefferson to get the season-long receiving record, if he got hurt, if the Vikings were already up by 14, 21 points, whatever, in a largely meaningless game, and he goes up to get a catch, maybe he's at 120 yards in the third quarter, and they're trying to get him up to that 194, and he, rolls an ankle, gets hit in the knee, gets a concussion, and now can't play next week. And he has been, I think I mentioned this last week, while looking through highlights, it has been Justin Jefferson that has been dragging this Vikings team along. Like, if he's out, as preemptively uncomfortable as I am about the playoffs for the Vikings this year, if Justin Jefferson doesn't play, I might find a book to read next Sunday. So I'm rooting for Justin Jefferson to, bomb after bomb after bomb. Feed him, get him all the points, get him all the records, and then get him off the field. I want that for him. He has done so much for this team. He's a blast to watch. He has kept us in close games. I really want him to have the record. I feel like he's had that kind of season. I want him to have that. But not at the expense of not showing up for our playoff game because he's hurt. So that's where I'm at with the Vikings game this week. That's what I'm rooting for, and then I'm rooting for health. I think a lot of the Vikings' success this year is due to the fact that they were largely healthy most of the year. Like, their offensive line was healthy until late in the season, and now they're very, very unhealthy. And that's scary because Cousins, even with a healthy offensive line, was getting freight trained week after week. And now they don't even have their starting center or guard. It could be a short postseason, but let's root for a healthy finish, a healthy week 18, rest up, hit the playoffs. All right. Enough rambling for me. I'm trying to see. 10 minutes? That's pretty good, I think. Wait, where's my time? Guys, going live frightens me because 9:51. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Thank you all for watching. I will be back in the postseason most likely. I'm hoping to have like an episode recorded and posted before the game kicks off. rather than going live and kind of stumbling through it. But we'll see. All right. Until next week, Skull feeleth there. Go Justin Jefferson. And go Vikings.